Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. Hearthstone's next expansion was officially revealed today, and it is Showdown in the Badlands. Some of you may have already noticed this because last night Blizzard started to sell BlizzCon gear in their gear shop and they started selling Showdown in the Badlands t-shirts. Yeah, that happened. Anyway, now it's official, now it's officially revealed. There's a pretty hilarious reveal video. Just got to love those. Those are fine. There is also going to be a cinematic this time, but the cinematic is not out yet. They're going to do a cinematic at BlizzCon. So I expect great things. Hearthstone cinematics have been awesome, and it's been a shame that we haven't always gotten a cinematic lately, but this time cinematics are also going to be back. In this video, I'm going to talk all about Showdown in the Badlands, about the new cards they revealed, the new mechanics they revealed, the card reveal season, everything, analyzing everything that they told us today, so let's take a look. The Bloodrock Mining Company found powerful Azerite in the Badlands. They're digging deep and bleeding the land dry, disrupting Badlands, awakening slumbering elementals. Yeah, this is hilarious. The Hearthstone stories, they're just such a load of nonsense every time, in some hilarious ways. In the timeline, this expansion is taking place in the past, not in the very distant past, but somewhat distant past anyway, where Badlands is this outlaw place, and they have found Azerite. Well, where did Azerite come from? Azerite came from where Sargeras stabbed the planet Azeroth with his sword. Azerite is the blood of the nascent titan Azeroth, slumbering deep inside the planet. And yeah, that didn't exist until very recently. So timelines have been quite mixed up in this one, but hey, that is Hearthstone. Anyway, Showdown in the Badlands launches worldwide on November 14th. We already knew that because of the way Tavern Pass was sold, with 145 rooting-tooting new cards. You can find the full Showdown in the Badlands reveal schedule and all the cards that have been already revealed by visiting the official card library. We're going to take a look at that real soon, check out what the library looks like. But what's more about this expansion? A crooked lawman faces noble outlaws. The Bloodrock Mining Company's operation is run by none other than corrupt Sheriff Barrelbrim. Sheriff Barrelbrim is greedy as his hat is tall, so he's not halting the mining for something as silly as health and safety. And Sheriff Barrelbrim, 4 mana 4/4, Battlecry if you have 20 or less health, open the Badlands Jail. And Badlands Jail, 4 mana, make a minion go dormant for 3 turns. Actually not a terrible card, so yeah, that could work. But an unexpected band of noble outlaws has come together to take him on. Each of these gunslingers are used to working on their lonesome, so they have special effects if your deck has no duplicates. Yes, Highlander decks are back for Demon Hunter, Druid, Hunter, Paladin, Priest, and Shaman. And they're led by Elise Badland Savior. And Elise is the Priest legendary. Battlecry, if your deck has no duplicates, summon 4/4 copies of 4 random minions in your deck. So if you can build around some death rattle effects and such, then Elise could bring in some power, although at 8 mana, so not very quickly. So if you think about the current meta, for example, and surviving to turn 8, well, we'll see how that goes. This here story takes place before Elise joined the League of Explorers, so they won't be joining her in this rodeo. Yet there's Azerite, which didn't exist until after League of Explorers, so yeah, timelines and Hearthstone happens. New keyword, Quickdraw. To win a Wild West Showdown, you've got to be quick on the draw. Cards with the new Quickdraw keyword get a special bonus if they're played on the turn they enter your hand. Fire cards off as soon as you draw them for maximum effect. Alright, that's going to be interesting with classes that can draw a lot of cards, although I would expect that they don't get that powerful Quickdraw cards, because imagine Quickdraw in something like a Druid, Demon Hunter. Yeah, I would really be on the lookout for quick draw cards for those classes, because those could be serious. New keyword, Excavate. What's the Bloodrock Mining Company after anyway? Why, treasures, of course. Cards with the new Excavate keyword give you a treasure when played. Each time you excavate, you get a treasure from the tier you're on, and then you progress to the next tier, so the further you dig in the mine, the bigger and rarer the treasure gets. The first time you excavate, you get 1 of 5 1 mana commons. The next time you excavate, you get 1 of 5 2 mana rares, then 1 of 5 3 mana epics, and once you tap out your mine, you start the excavation over at common. However, 5 classes are working with the Bloodrock Mining Company: Death Knight, Mage, Rogue, Warlock, and Warrior. And these expert miners are able to get even deeper, and each of these classes has a class-specific 4-mana legendary excavate treasure that they get when they excavate for the 4th time. I'm going to look at the strength of excavate real soon as well. Let's dig a bit deeper into that one. But first, let's finish this blog post. Thunderbringer login reward available now. So log into the game and you get this Thunderbringer. 8 mana 6/6 elemental beast. Taunt, death rattle, summon an elemental and beast from your deck. 8 mana for a 6/6 taunt. Summon some random stuff from your deck. I don't think. I mean, we have had some really powerful re-expansion legendary cards before, but this one now seems to return us to a lower power level. I don't think this looks very strong, at least in this meta right now. Maybe later once the expansion is live, but it just seems a little bit slow. And pre-purchase Showdown in the Badlands. Now, Showdown in the Badlands Mega Bundle. Okay, so Mega Bundle has 80 card packs, 10 golden packs, 1 random signature legendary, 1 random golden legendary, Ulfar Druid Hero Skin, and Ulfar card pack. So if we compare this to the Titans package, then Titans package also had a Diamond Celiax, which was a diamond version of an older card, and it only had 5 golden packs. So now we are trading 1 cosmetic legendary largely to 5 golden packs. So that's actually a pretty decent trade. Then there's the smaller bundle, 60 packs, 2 legendaries, card pack. Nothing has changed with this one. This is exactly the same as it used to be. And pre-purchase bundles will only be available until the launch of Showdown in the Badlands on November 14th. Don't miss your chance to wrangle these deals. So Blizzard once had these pre-releases available for purchase also after the expansion is released. They clearly were not happy with the results. So now it's back to being able to buy these before the expansion comes. And the bigger pack is, I think, a little bit sweeter. Just a little bit better deal than it has been before. But then what about those cards that have been revealed? What do we know about class focus for this expansion? And what about that excavate? Let's dig a little bit deeper into those. So first of all, here is the reveal schedule. So the reveals are going to start on October 19th. So not tomorrow, but day after tomorrow, the reveal season is going to begin. And then it's going to go pretty strong until November 4th. So all the way to BlizzCon reveal season. Okay, so that's the thing. And what do we have so far? We have a few cards. We have a couple of Death Knight cards. We have Reap What You Sow, deal 3 damage, excavate the treasure. We have Harrowing Ox. Battlecry, if you've excavated twice, your next card this turn costs 7 less. It's 7 mana, 7/7 taunt that allows you to play another 7 mana card. So that's actually quite strong. Then we have some hand buff mechanics for Hunter. Death Rattle, draw a beast, give your minions in hand +1/+1, and Tell During the Lost for Highlander Hunter. Battlecry, if your deck has no duplicates, gain immune this turn and attack all enemies. So Hunter is getting some hand buff stuff and beast stuff. Okay. Mage is getting excavations. For each card in your hand, deal 1 damage to random enemy. Each card in your hand, so that kind of promotes a slower control mage game style. All right, I like that. Regis is getting that Elise Badlands Savior. Shaman's getting the Dehydrate with Quickdraw and Living Prairie. Battlecry, if you played an Elemental last turn, summon 2/3/3 cows with Rush. So perhaps we're going to see a return of Shaman to this Elemental mechanic. I enjoyed the Elemental mechanic a lot. I think it was tremendously fun playing Elemental Shaman, so I really look forward to seeing that. They have been struggling to find, like, what is the identity of Shaman? All of these overload things, and yeah, those have been kind of problematic. Totems, I guess, have worked quite well, and Totems, Elementals, I like that Shaman direction. Then we have Warlock. Trolley problem, discard your lowest cost spell. I really don't like the discard mechanic, and they're pushing it again. What's an upside here is that it's discard your lowest cost spell, so it is very targeted discard. Lowest cost and also spell. So I do like that. When you have to make discard work somehow, the more targeted the discard is, the more opportunities that enables for the player to actually play the game instead of just do random stuff. And it summons 2/3/3 tram cards with Rush for 3 mana. That's really cheap. And Quick Draw, don't discard, so you can either play this immediately without the discard. If you really want to discard stuff, then you have to hold on to it. So, okay. I actually think there's quite interesting design with Trolley Problem, even though I dislike discard mechanic in general, but this tries to make the best out of it that it can. And then we have some neutrals, Cobalt Miner, Excavate Treasure, Sheriff, and the Thunderbringer, and that's all the cards we have so far. So, Cobalt Miner, Valkyrie Excavate a Treasure. Well, a 1/1 minion with nothing is worth 0 mana. We already have Wisp in the game. So this is like paying around 2 mana for the ability to excavate. Our other excavations, we have the Blast Mage Miner. That's a little bit more hard to value, but it might also be paying around 2 mana. And then we have Reap What You Sow, deal 3 damage, excavate a treasure. We have deal 3 damage plus do something else for 2 mana in the game already. And that's of course the rogue card that deals 3 to face for 1 mana. So this is also paying like around at least mana and a half for the excavate effect. So is that worth it? We had a list of the excavate cards. What the list wasn't showing was the class-specific excavate cards, of which we have only seen one. Also, I checked the library and there are no others yet here. But we have the Death Knight Tier 4 excavation. So the 4th time you excavate in a game as a Death Knight, you're going to get the Azerite Rat. Battlecry, resurrect your highest cost minion, give it +2/+2, reborn, and lifesteal. 4 mana 5/5. So that is a pretty huge payoff. Right, so if you can excavate 4 times, you get a pretty huge payoff. That's nice, that's nice. What if you can't excavate that many times? What if you excavate fewer times? Here are all the excavate treasures. So there's 5 treasures on tier 1, 5 treasures on tier 2, and 5 treasures on tier 3. You get a random one each time you excavate. You don't discover, you get a random one. And what is the value of these? Like 1 mana 2/2 rush, 1 mana deal 3 damage, 1 mana restore 3 health, draw a card, 1 mana get 2 coins, 1 mana discover 2 cost card, it costs 0. So these are roughly 1 mana cheaper than their effect, which doesn't really justify the cost of the excavation itself because you're paying around 1.5 to 2 mana just to excavate. Then we have this next tier, Living Stone, 2 mana 2/4 elemental with taunt and death rattle, summon a random 2 cost minion. Okay, so this level starts to get more value. Canary, Valkyrie, return any minion to its owner's hand, 2 mana 2/1. Well, yeah, that's only kind of worth like 3 mana compared to Sap. Glowing Glyph, give a minion its neighbors +1/+2. Deal 3 damage to a minion and the enemy hero. Discover 3 cost card, it costs 0. So this is clearly only worth like 1 mana. There's a bit of more difference in the value of these. Like this could be 2 mana more valuable than it should be. Maybe it's only like 1.5. So this tier is now starting to roughly be the value of that you have to spend in order to excavate. And in some parts it's still weaker. So we're quite a bit behind after 2 excavations still. The 3rd excavation does take us a little bit further though. Ogre Fist Boulder, Boulder Fist Ogre, Ogre Fist Boulder. Set of minions, that's the 6/7 perfect stat line. 3 mana 2 use location, that makes big minions, I see. Then we have like a mini Ziliax. 3 mana 4/3 dragon, rush, divine shield, lifesteal, only missing taunt. Powerful. We have a pretty huge taunt, Steelhide Mole, 3 mana, taunt reborn, can't be targeted by spells or hero power, 2/7. Collapse, deal 3 damage to all enemies. This is lower value compared to the others, I think. And we have as our gem, discover a 5 cost card, it costs 0. So some of these are not as valuable as others again, but these are overall, these are all at least worth the excavation, perhaps slightly more. And then there's the huge payoff with the 4th excavation. In other words, you don't want to excavate unless you want to go for that 4th reward. Because these excavations, the 1st tier is not doing anything great. The 2nd tier is still kind of meh, it's starting to get there. And it's only the 3rd tier that's really worth it, but you have had to excavate already twice in order to get there. So 3rd tier is a decent payoff, and 4th tier is the big payoff. So if you want to play with excavation, you want to be able to excavate 4 times in a game, you want to have a good card that you will get from your 4th excavation. Only some classes have those, and we don't know how good all of those are yet, although the Death Knight one is really, really strong. And then you can actually play with excavation. So that's all we know about Showdown in the Badlands in a nutshell so far. Looks like an interesting expansion so far. I do like Highlander decks coming back. I do like elementals in Shaman. So there's some fun stuff coming, but obviously we haven't seen most of the cards yet, so further analysis will have to wait until more reveals, and the reveals start day after tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.